Hey everybody, this is Mr. Marshall at Stony Lane. So I want to talk to you about something that happens when we read books, right? Sometimes when we read books, we see characters doing things that kind of remind us of ourselves. Did that ever happen to you? That a character does something or says something or something happens to them that reminds you of something that might have happened to you? So if that happens to you, then that's good because that can make you smarter about the book. And so the way that like what you can do to help when that happens to you is you can stop and think hard about what it was like for you. Like talk about that, maybe write some words about that, think about that, and then ask yourself, how does that make me smarter about my book? Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So let's pretend that I'm reading this book, Wemberly Worried, right? Maybe you know this book. If you don't, you should get to know it. It's a great book. So in this book, Wemberly Worried, um, let's read the beginning, right? It says, Wemberly worried about everything. Big things. I wanted to see that you were still there. Little things and things in between. Wemberly worried in the morning. She worried at night. She worried throughout the day. You worry too much, said her mother. When you worry, I worry, said her father. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. So I know I've felt worried about stuff, like all different kinds of things, sort of like Wemberly, and you probably have too, because everybody worries sometimes. So what's happening to Wemberly right here on this page? Her mom is saying, you worry too much. And her dad is saying, when you worry, I worry. Worry, 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 said her grandmother. Too much worry. So it sounds like her family is trying to tell her, don't worry so much, right? I know that's happened to me where I've been worried about something, and then people in my family or my friends say, you know what, don't worry. Like, don't worry. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to think about when that happens to me. I'm going to like write some words about it, and I'm going to think, how does that make me smarter about the book as I continue to read on? So let me see. I know when something important is going on and I get worried about it. Sometimes people in my life will tell me, don't worry, it's okay, don't worry. But you know what? That doesn't help me, right? If they tell me not to worry, that doesn't make the worry go away. So like that doesn't help, right? When they tell me not to worry, that doesn't help. Right? It doesn't help. And then like I don't want to worry. Nobody wants to worry. So I don't want to worry. What else happens to me there? And then people tell me not to worry, and that makes me worry more. It makes me upset, right? It makes me upset, and then sometimes that makes me like angry, or it makes me worry even more, right? And these people are nice people, and they just want me to be happy. But this makes me like frustrated. It makes me worry even more. It doesn't help. It doesn't help, right? Like that's what happens to me when people tell me not to worry about stuff. Okay? So now I'm going to ask the question, um how does that make me smarter about Wemberly? Like when I continue reading now, what should I be thinking about Wemberly? So if this is true about me, it's probably true about her too. It's probably true that it doesn't help that they're saying, don't worry. She probably doesn't want to worry either. Who wants to worry? Nobody wants to worry. And it's probably making her worry more. it's making her more and more upset, right? So now I'm going to keep reading this book thinking, gosh, not only is she worried about stuff, she's worried about how people are telling her not to worry. And like, that must be getting on her nerves. At home, Wemberly worried about the tree in the front yard and the crack in the living room wall and the noise that the radiator made. At the playground, Wemberly worried about the chains on the swing and the bolts on the slide and the bars on the jungle gym. And it keeps talking about all the things she's worried about. Not only is she worried about these things, she's upset because people are telling her not to worry. Don't worry, said her mother. Don't worry, said her father. But Wemberly worried. She worried and worried and worried. So like it's making it worse and worse, right? So do you see what I did? Do you see how I found something inside this book that reminded me of myself? Something that reminded me of my life? So what I did was I stopped and I thought about it. I thought about my life and how that happens in my life. And then I used this to think again about my character as I read on. Okay, that's something that you can do when you recognize yourself in a story too. When you recognize yourself in a character too. You can think about how that happens to you and then use these ideas to read on, right? Okay, why don't you try that, and I'll see you next time.